I want to welcome everybody to Epic Sketch Time. Epic Sketch Time is an online drawing group. We've been meeting for several years, first on Google Hangouts, and now we are doing stuff via Zoom. Currently, we're meeting on Tuesdays at 4:30 Pacific time. If you go to the link in the doobly-doo or go to our Facebook page, you can sign up and get on our mailing list there. You can also find us on Eventbrite and sign up there. I recommend getting on our emailing list because that reminder tends to go out earlier than the other ones. Again, my name is Mark Monlux. I'm a freelance illustrator here in Tacoma, Washington, and today I'm going to be working on a deck of cards. Up next is Bill Morse. Bill.
I am Bill Morse. I'm a cartoonist and illustrator working in Seattle, Washington, and today I'll be just working on my webcomic Rhapsodies.
Katie.
Hi, this is Katie. I am an artist and writer from Bonnie Lake, Washington, and I am working on a birthday gift for someone. It might be thrown in the trash if Mark and Bill can't help me save it. But I enjoy fan art, painting fuzzy animals, screaming people, and you can find me at Evil Girlfriend Media.
So Katie,
on Instagram.
First of all, your color composition's good. You got a warm background, you got a cool front, you got some warm midtones on the you obviously have a balding man here with a deep scowl. You started there. I'm curious, who are you painting today?
I am painting Patrick Stewart as Gurney in Dune, and it's the infamous pug picture. And I am planning to make the pug kind of look like there's if you look at the screenshot in the movie, like one of the stills from the movie, the pug is actually looking at the camera. I don't think he's supposed to be. And he kind of looks like, I don't know what's going on here. It's pretty amazing. And so I am trying to get this finished before tomorrow. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I never had a problem with the pug in the movie. I was just mystified how it survived the attack on Arakeen.
Well, you had your own personal, guard. Yeah, I just find it like one of the best scenes in a movie I've ever seen in my life. And so I have a friend that every year for his birthday I paint him something, because when I was first starting out drawing, which is a long sad story in itself, but when I started drawing again, the only person I really shared that I was drawing and doing art again was with Tim. And then I just happened to mention it or he observed it. I can't remember how it all went down. But anyway, he ended up liking my art because he loves ugly art. Like, that's his thing. He loves people who, I don't want to say ugly, but different. Like, he likes stuff that's kind of like comic and fun and weird. And so he just kept encouraging me. So I started making him little pieces. And so then he would laugh every time I made one for him. And so he's one of the few people that I make art for as a gift. And so this is his piece for this year's gift for birthday, but his birthday was Christmas. And so I'm a little late, but tomorrow's my birthday. So we're doing our birthday lunch tomorrow. I have a backup piece, but it was actually a piece for a show. So I really don't want to give it up just yet. Like, I would more like want to scan it and make prints before I give it to him. But I have to come with something.
I think you're doing just fine, because your Patrick Stewart is looking right along the same lines of the Patrick Stewart I did for, we had a Captain Picard's birthday gallery showing where everybody did pictures of Captain Picard because it was his birthday. And my Captain Picard portrait looked like it came out of The Simpsons. So, with big glary eyes, but in the head at the exact same posture. But
Well, I think one of the hard parts about this too is, I told you I was trying to learn to do acrylic on paper. And so, when is the best time to start toying or monkeying around with a new way to use your medium? But when you're in a jam and you need to hurry up and get something done. So that's where we're at right now. I was just like, in my defense, I have not taken my antidepressants that I normally take for like 4 days that I can remember. And they also help with my ADHD. So that's kind of why so today, Tim was talking and he goes, well, because I was off my schedule. I don't know if you guys with your medications, any kind of medications, it's like you have your schedule. Like I wake up at this time in the morning, I do X, Y, and Z, and then I take this medicine, I do this, I do that, right? So it's been a holiday and I just totally forgot. And Tim had told me something and then I didn't remember it at all. It was like the fifth thing that I hadn't remembered in like 24 hours. And he was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, oh, well, I haven't taken my medication that helps with my concentration. That might
yeah.
it activates my brain.
I sympathize completely being in that boat as well. And of course, and then there's also there's the one thing worse than forgetting to take your ADD meds.
I don't know what's worse than that. You're not
Forgetting
taking your anti-anxiety meds?
taken your ADD meds.
oh, you mean you've taken your ADD meds twice?
I've done that.
Very productive, but strung out the entire day.
So what's worse I think the worst thing though I've ever done is, so like I always take my meds in the morning, get up, get all the neurons firing. And then one night I was like sitting in the bed and I was like staring at the ceiling and my heart was racing and I was like, what's wrong with me? I'm not anxious. Why do I feel this way? What's going on? And I'm like trying to like analyze like why I'm having all these mental and physical symptoms, and I have dysautonomia, so like that screws with me too. And so I was like, what did I do that would trigger this irregular heart rhythm? And then I realized I took all my morning meds before I went to bed.
Not a good idea considering
I didn't sleep at all.
To spell it out, that's one of the reasons I switched to decaf.
Yeah, I'm on a 1 cup of coffee a day regimen. Sometimes I do too, but normally. So I'm a mess. But it's okay because
has the Adderall shortage hit you yet?
No, believe it or not, I just take a really high dose of bupropion and it helps me. I take high dose bupropion and I take Buspar together, and it's like a very beautiful combination where I can not have anxiety, I'm not super depressed, and I can concentrate. But apparently I haven't been doing that for 4 days. oh gosh, it's okay. I'll get there. But anyway, I got this much done. And one of the interesting things that I did do, I have Posca paint markers, which I usually find to be completely useless because they run like crazy, but I'm using them on this and with the other acrylic markers, and it is creating like this really kind of neat water color effect, I think. But definitely looks more like a comic picture on paper. I'm sure I'll get better at this. But for cost reasons and then being able to scan it and modifying things digitally, I kind of wanted to switch to paper. I just don't know how well it's gonna go right off the bat.
Well, one of the things you may want to consider when you switch to paper is you've got some curling happening at the edges.
Yes.
So when you put down your piece of paper, get some repositional tape or maybe even some 3M paper tape. It's a type of tape that's papery, but you can peel it up and put it down, and you do on both sides of your piece of paper, just tape it completely down so it lays completely flat. And then you just leave it there until you're done working and then peel it up. That way you don't get this curve thing happening and you don't ding up the edges.
Yeah, I noticed that. I know I was telling Tim I'm definitely putting this in a picture frame. So that'll be helpful.
Yeah. It's
but
something
yeah.
that people build it when I used to do that when I did my watercolors, is I would always tape them down on a board. I wouldn't even use the clip accessory. And mainly because I like to work with big sheets of watercolor paper and I didn't like to have them warping. So I always taped them down ahead of time on all four edges. When you watercolor, do you do the same thing or are you working off of pads?
I generally work off of pads, and usually if I go bigger than that, I'm working from blocks. So it hasn't been an issue yet.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really gotten into watercolors, but that's definitely, and then these rubber bands are really helpful, but this board only came with one rubber band. So
Yeah, I mean, occasionally I've considered doing the tape, but I definitely need to work out the system for it, including getting a board to tape it onto. I wouldn't want to tape it onto my drawing table.
Well, I have drawing boards that I would used to use, that I would then put the drawing boards on my drawing table, and and the drawing boards were designed for drawing tape.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I have in mind. I just haven't treated myself to any of said boards yet.
And I'm looking around for an example of this tape. You can also get what's called drafting tape, which is what draftsmen or architects use. And it's designed to it's designed to hold paper in place and then not to tear the paper when you pull it up. And that's what I first started using in college, but there's this 3M stuff that I absolutely love. And they only stock it once a year. And that's at the beginning of the school year because kids use it to decorate their lockers and stuff. And so I always get a couple of rolls and I just use that like crazy. Here's it. This is just a little chunk of it. I can't find the roll, but
gotcha.
It's paper on one side so you can write on it, and it's got a full 3M sticky surface on the back, and it comes in rolls, and it's absolutely perfect for putting paper down. And I'll keep using those strips a couple of times until they stop losing their tacky. So, hey, take a look at this. I got a microphone for Christmas. Isn't that neat?
Oh, nice.
So now this microphone that comes with my headset, which always rubs against my shirts, no longer is making all that noise. So that's one item I got for Christmas. Bill, did you buy yourself anything for Christmas or did you get anything in the mail?
Nothing yet. Nothing, unless you count a new thumb drive, which was mostly a business account.
I think that counts.
Yeah, I keep meaning to get myself some new cooking appliances. I've been comparison shopping for a Cuisinart, and I've been considering getting a mortar and pestle, but I'm not completely sure just how valuable it would be, and despite all the things I want to use it for, would it just end up being a decoration?
I might have a spare mortar and pestle, or did I give it away? I'll look around because I inherited one from a friend who died. But my wife already had one. I thought, well, maybe this one's bigger, but no, it's the same size. A Cuisinart. So my wife has 3 different Cuisinarts.
Ooh.
She's got a really tiny one, a hand-sized one. The really tiny ones is for grinding up stuff like for herbs. It's almost like a coffee grinder.
Right.
That size. Then she's got one that just does a cup size worth of thing. And then she has her traditional Cuisinart size, the larger size one, which is pretty standard. And I remember I would recommend that you go with a traditional Cuisinart, because you, more than anything, you want something with a good strong mortar and blades that will not break off and be old chintzy with cheap plastic. She did have a plastic Cuisinart at one point, but she upgraded to the metal Cuisinart, and she likes it more.
Nice. Yeah, because it's sort of like, considering how much salad I've been eating this year, it definitely would speed up the chopping the vegetables, and then of course the blending.
Well, I don't blend my salads. I do chop up my lettuce and slice my tomatoes. Have you considered a mandolin?
It's been mentioned before. I mean,
a hand mandolin is great for salads, and they're very inexpensive. Wajimaya has quite a selection of inexpensive plastic hand mandolins, and they're perfect for slicing vegetables, because if you're talking about something in a small amount, but if you're making things like soups and the like, then, or if you're doing a lot of chopping, like when my wife makes meatloaf, she'll do things in the Cuisinart. But for the most part, the Cuisinart is quiet. It's only when she starts doing baking and stuff that she starts pulling out the Cuisinart as well as the mixer.
Yeah, I saw one person using one to make pastry dough, which is something that never even occurred to me.
And
but considering how long it takes to do it with the fork, I definitely approve.
Yeah, you can also do noodles with you can make the dough for noodles with a Cuisinart.
Definitely.
So it's just the right thing. It creates the right pebbly texture. But just to do it, you use enriched flour and regular flour in equal measures to get some nice udon noodles. And there are recipes you can follow online, but yeah, use the Cuisinart for that. My wife has a couple of she's got a mixer. I'm trying to remember the name of the brand of the mixer.
I don't know the brands, but everybody's been calling them stand mixers.
So there's a stand mixer that is pretty much the standard in the industry, because it also has a front that you can put attachments on it. So she has a front attachment for stuffing sausage. They also come with the front attachments for doing noodles, but that's not a Cuisinart. That's just a mixer,
right?
Know? And we're not talking about a blender. A blender is a totally different thing.
I do know the difference. Yes.
Okay. But so my wife's got electrical whisker that because she likes to use a hand mixer from now and then. Oh, an appliance that I need to clean up now is her stuffed waffle maker, which I bought her last year for Christmas, and she's been using pretty frequently.
Those things are amazing.
Oh, you have a stuffed waffle maker?
I was actually just talking to Tim about he needed to make some stuffed waffle for Christmas because oh my gosh, he makes some I mean, you can even make like stuffed pizza waffles and there you put like the cheese and the pepperoni and the sauce. You don't use like a sweet pancake dough or waffle dough, but oh yeah. Or you put like the eggs and your bacon inside it and then you pour syrup all over it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
One of our favorites is perfect for after the holidays. It's turkey stuffed waffles, like chicken and waffles, but it's turkey.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it is superb.
Yeah.
Use up your turkey that way.
Yeah. That sounds very tempting, but I have 10 to 20 pounds to go and I'm trying to stay low carb.
Yes, I kind of gained a couple pounds over Christmas. I'm at 202 right now.
I'm just not thinking about it till next week.
I
I just decided I'm gonna wait and worry about it next week. I mean, let's see here. I have Christmas Eve, Christmas, my birthday, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and then yeah, I'll be all right for until I don't really overindulge until July when it's Tim's and Nick's birthday, and then we have cake again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of trying to get back into the swing as quickly as possible since it wasn't like I was totally jumping off the wagon. I definitely had more than I usually have for Christmas and the larger servings than I normally have. And I'd already hit a ceiling or more, or in this case, a floor as far as being on a plateau and then went up a pound. And admittedly, all this whining about it may not sound like much because it just meant I'm up to 222 right now and still lower than I've been in 10 years. But at the same time, I want to get this diet over with, which means even smaller servings and trying to get more. I think my biggest problem is with the dark and the weather, it's hard to get proper exercise in.
Yeah, it's hard to convince yourself. I was telling my wife we should go for a walk this day, and she said, "No, we're running errands today at stores, and it's rainy and it's wet, and if you don't have someplace to go inside, it can just
for
be."
me, unless it's a big errand, the have to go shopping is exercise, and I make full use of it. I mean, for example, today, my exercise was going to Archie McPhee to get a keychain to put so that I wouldn't lose my thumb drive.
So what type of keychain did you pick up at Archie McPhee?
A Magic 8-Ball.
Oh, fun.
And
Yeah.
so what does the Magic 8-Ball says about the outcome of Epic Sketch Time?
Well, actually, it's just an 8-Ball, but
Oh, it's just an 8-Ball?
Oh.
Okay.
but it guarantees that the one frustrating thing about thumb drives is, yes, the amount of storage space they have for this amount of volume is amazing, but to a certain extent, the size is a double-edged sword. So I always find a keychain to make it less fall through the cracksable. And on a plus side, I finished my Christmas story finally on time.
Woo-hoo.
and meant that when Christmas actually came, other than having a nice conversation with the folks, making a nice dinner for myself, listening to music and walking to Candy Cane Lane, it didn't dominate my thoughts like it has been known to do. And I officially put it to bed last night.
Good for you, Bill.
Unfortunately, I now have the traditional writer's block that I always get after finishing a relatively long storyline, but I have the notes for a few of the upcoming things.
I'm shocked at how pink Patrick Stewart's skin is. Like the real person. He's pretty white.
Yeah, one of my people.
Pretty white. Yeah, it does not have any olive tone.
Yeah.
I do kind of like how I'm just working with what I got as far as like in the past, like I would have just repainted over this. Instead, I'm just like, I guess this is what this is going to look like. I'm just going to embrace.
There you go.
Whatever this look is.
You saying that makes me so happy.
Just embrace it. Got to keep going. Yeah, we had Christmas. We went to a Christmas Eve gathering at my mother-in-law's, and then we opened presents with the kids here at the house, and then the kids went to one of their moms, kind of like a family friend, and they went and played games and did all that. And then Tim and I just kind of spent the evening together and relaxed. And Tim made us some lobster ravioli, which was super nice. And then, yeah.
From scratch or the stuff they sell at Trader Joe's?
Oh, no, we got the Costco ones, but he did cook. We did get lobster tail as well. So he cooked some lobster tail to go with that. And then, yeah, we just relaxed and watched a little TV. We ended up, we normally watch a lot more Christmas movies. But this year we ended up watching, I just don't, we just get really tired with television at night. So we just only like to watch about an hour of TV. We don't hardly ever watch movies unless it's like on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so we watched a couple episodes of different TV shows. They're Christmas episodes. We watched the Benihana 2-part for The Office. And that was funny. And then I can't remember what other. We started watching the show called The Head. We watched the first season last year on HBO or the year before last. And then
The Head.
I know I've heard the title, but I don't think I know anything about it.
Go ahead.
What's it about?
So the first season has, well, the show in general kind of has like a little bit of an Agatha Christie vibe, but the first season is set at the South Pole in Antarctica. And basically that is like a fusion of The Thing and Then There Were None, or 10 Little Indians by Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
And so it's like those two are fused together into a TV show. And you don't know if there's like a paranormal element killing all these people off. Somebody else is killing them off. You can't figure out who the killer is. It's pretty crazy. And then that season ended and you're like, oh, okay, well, we know what's going to happen. But then they had a season 2, which picks up where season 1 ended. And it is basically now what happened in the South Pole or Antarctica is now happening on a boat in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, about 1,000 miles away from the Chile Chilean coast, I guess would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now all these people are dying, and they're dying in a similar manner as the people that died in Antarctica. But then you start to know something that the people on the boat don't know, and then we're waiting for that next episode because we just figured that out on this last episode. We're like, who is killing all these people if it's not that person? So, yeah. And I think one of the most interesting parts about it is how there is a technology that one of the protagonists is working on, and it is a technology that is being worked on. I don't know if they haven't, I don't know why it's the main theme in the show, but it's that algae that they say that can, they're trying to grow that can eliminate carbon dioxide at a faster rate than trees.
Yeah.
And they discovered it in Antarctica. So it's kind of like its own star in the show, I guess. But I was going to look it up to see, because I swore this was actually a real technology that was being worked on. And I'm like, why is it a focus in this show if this is a real technology that's being developed? Like, what's the motivation of using this technology as a device in this show? I don't have the answer yet. I might by next week.
Okay.
But that's pretty much all we did. And we didn't really watch. We watched that movie Spirited.
Yes.
Did I tell you about that? That's the musical.
No.
So it's a musical with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. And it's basically a Christmas Carol. I really like both of those people as comedic actors. So it was enjoyable. Tim was kind of leery because he's like, oh, I hate musicals. But he liked the storyline, and he likes the characters enough that he ended up enjoying it, and we watched the whole thing. So that's a ringing endorsement from him.
The last movie I saw, a friend of mine just got HBO Plus, so he's been inviting me to watch DC films to snark at them, and our first target was Black Adam.
I have not seen it yet. Was it really that bad?
No, I mean, as a fan of superhero movies, I can tell you there's plenty of superhero movies that are far worse. And this is my, I put it in the entertaining, mindless fluff starring Dwayne Johnson category.
Okay, that's not bad. As long as you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
So you would make it sort of like the DC equivalent of The Rundown?
I'm
Or have you not seen The Rundown?
afraid not.
Okay, so you
I
haven't
mean, as
seen
far
the
as
whole-
super bad superhero films, I mean, definitely better than, say, Darkman.
I liked Darkman.
I was like, was Darkman bad?
Way to knock Darkman, dude. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm actually,
But as I said, not good at all, but it wasn't like the latest version of Time Machine where I felt like I wasted money when I'd gotten in on a free ticket. Oh man, that movie was terrible.
what, you don't like Jeremy? Was Jeremy Irons as
the head Morlock? I mean, yeah, Jeremy Irons tends to be the only good thing in a lot of movies. I mean, I can tolerate Dungeons and Dragons because of Jeremy Irons.
But Jeremy Irons has been in a lot of bad movies.
Mhm. And usually he's the only reason that makes one not want to slice their wrists while they're watching it. Yeah, I mean, I think with Dungeons and Dragons, he was pretty much bragging about that he only was in it to get a new Porsche.
Kind of funny.
So my wife and I picked up Disney Plus the other day, so we've been catching up on a lot of the Pixar movies that we missed.
The thing that's getting me very, very, very tempted to get Disney Plus right now is Andor.
Oh, you still haven't gotten Disney Plus for yourself. Yeah.
Mhm.
So she's telling me that I'm going pretty much on my own for the Star Wars stuff. She's just not into it.
Apparently with Andor, you can pretty much pretend that it's ignore the Star Wars bits and enjoy it as a very intelligent space opera.
That's what I had heard people saying too, or maybe you were the person that said that.
I
just remember
I
you
might
saying.
have said it, but there's plenty of other people who say it as well. But it sounds like
I think you
I'm
heard
not
it from
saying
Bill.
it's
I
funny.
think you said it last week.
Okay.
So let's see. We watched Encanto, and the one we Strange World, the one that
how
just
was
came out
that?
on.
Everybody's been
Right.
panning it, but a lot of other people said it was just the fault of the producer doing a terrible job marketing it.
My wife thought it was too preachy and over inclusive.
Okay. Based on what I've heard about that, I can see that criticism. It's just a shame. I mean, I actually like it when Disney tries its hands at other genres, but usually they do a terrible job of marketing them. So even when they're good, they bomb.
It was really meant to be seen in 3D, and I would have given it another. And Encanto as well. Both of them were designed to be thoroughly enjoyed in a 3D theater. And I would have given them an extra point. Now I gave this one an extra point because it had a dog with a name. The dog even only had 3 legs. That's how inclusive this film is.
Let me just making sure of your criteria here. Dog with a name. So therefore, for example, Road Warrior, a Road Warrior would get a lower rating than another dog film because the dog in Road Warrior didn't have a name.
The dog was called Dog.
Was it?
Just like in Rooster Cogburn. Jake McKinta.
Uh-huh.
The dog's name was Dog. Yeah. But yeah, there are times I had to start. First of all, I went with there was a dog in the movie, but then the scenes with the dog in the movie got to be so short that I had to start saying, okay, the dog's got to have a name. It can't just be a dog that's on screen for 3 seconds growling at somebody, and then you never see the dog again because that's all the dog did was growl at somebody. Like take Tron Legacy. There was a dog in that film, and the dog had a name, and that's why it got an extra point. And I think that's about the only reason they showed the dog in that movie was because they knew about my rating system and they wanted an extra point.
Well, one can't. Daft Punk can't do all the work.
Oh gosh, you guys.
But I would definitely say, hey, watch the film. You know,
Mhm.
it's not
Um,
bad. It's just, you know,
We're talking Lost World here.
yes, strange world.
Strange World.
My wife also gave me another gift that I've been using since she bought me it. She bought me some shoes,
Ooh,
and these are the first shoes I ever put on by a mail order, and they fit perfectly, and they're terrific.
Nice. I'm always reluctant to buy shoes online.
Well, you know, my wife buys them online all the time, and she sends them back more times than she keeps them. But if you've got Amazon Prime, all you have to do is go into Prime and hit the return button. They send you a little QR code. You take that QR code with the item, even if it's unwrapped, to a UPS store. They scan that barcode and they just mail it right back,
Oh,
and you get the credit back. It's
That's-
easy as pie.
yep. That's how I got my wedding dress.
You got
I
your.
I didn't want to go into, well, so actually I ended up getting my wedding dress at Macy's. That I tried on a bunch of wedding dresses through Amazon.
Ah,
So yeah, so I selected a bunch of dresses and then they came to my house. I tried them on, and I was actually very nice though to the people at the UPS store, and I packaged everything and I had the barcode attached to it and everything. And then all they had to do was open it, verify it was the thing that I said it was, and then they took a piece of tape and closed it, and they were done. They actually greatly appreciated me doing that, but it was like 9 dresses, so. And kind of like what you're saying about your wife is like, yeah, I returned every one of those. But at least I tried them on, and then we ended up going to a regular store anyway, and I bought a dress, but definitely helped with my anxiety to be doing something before I could go actually try dresses on. I've done that with shoes too. So yeah, it works. So did you get your shoes from Amazon, or did you get
she
them
bought them through Amazon Prime, and basically they're the same brand that she buys for her feet. I've been buying shoes at Costco because I hate going off and buying shoes. At Costco, you can buy a $20 pair of shoes from China. They're not the highest quality in the world. And my last shoes just were not keeping my feet dry. I mean, they were fine during the summer,
Right.
but whatever water resistant spray had been on them at one time has long since evaporated. And I wanted to wear something other than my boots in this weather. So she got me some waterproof shoes,
Sweet.
kind of something I can go hiking in, and put them on. They fit perfect. So that was absolutely wonderful. And then, but some of the items I got her were not perfect. And
Uh-oh.
one of the items that she bought me some sheepskin slippers with a soft sole. Most of the sheepskin slippers out there have a rubber sole, and I don't want those. I want a rawhide sole.
Uh-huh.
But the ones she got me they were too small. They were really pushing at the seam. So I thought, I want some, but these are too tight. Do they have a size up? She goes, yeah, they got a size up. I said, okay, great. We'll just exchange these for the next size up.
My God, I want to watch Patrick Lynch's Dune real bad now after this.
Well, I think
or
he's
David
not-
Lynch,
he's
not
not-
Patrick Lynch.
David Lynch. David Lynch's Dune.
Yes.
That's what you meant.
Yes, David Lynch. Yes, but now I really want to watch it.
And I'm on that note, I am also very much looking forward to part 2 of Denny Villeneuve's one.
Oh, I think it's gonna be good too. No. I don't think it's, but there's just some cheesiness about this Dune, but then it's also just, I don't know, it's got that really nice noir vibe to it. And
I'm very fond of the first half of it. The world building is very good. And I like a lot of design choices. It just gets kind of cheesy at the third act.
and Sting, and then what's the other guy's name? Oh God, they're so gross in that movie. It's like, oh,
You're talking about the guy who played the Baron. I'm not sure. I never remember him.
yes, but yeah, he's just those two were real creepy.
He did.
Okay, he's looking a little more like Patrick Stewart, little more. I don't know if you guys can see it on your end.
I
or
can. I think you're doing a great job.
not. Oh, and I sent my mother a picture of her Bitsy, her Bitsy dog. She loved it. She can't wait till it gets to Kentucky. I explained to her it didn't get sent with the regular presents, but that I also didn't want a chance with the rush for Christmas of it getting damaged. The other stuff, well, whatever.
Yeah.
But and she was still very happy with it. And she said she's going to put it in her office at work. So, and since clients have to stare at it, people she's giving therapy to, so hopefully it'll be calming to them and not them being like, oh my God, this dog is staring at me. Either way, not my problem. I don't think she understands what a big deal it is for you to create art for someone as a gift, but it's okay. Because, I'm her daughter. So she's just still probably thinking of it like I'm, a 10-year-old or something. It's like. That's nifty, dear.
So, Bill, have you seen anything movie-wise since last week?
Other than seeing Black Adam, no. I keep meaning to watch Del Toro's Pinocchio, but I haven't had the time. But now that I'm finished the Christmas Story, I can probably have my evenings back.
Oh, I hate these stupid little notifications that I get on my email saying, oh, we have detected suspicious activity on your account and have locked it as a precaution. To click this to unlock your account. And and I'm sorry, but my workspace 6fbd2.myclickfunnels.com/site sign-in is not a PayPal account. So, oh, that's interesting. So Bill, when is the next, is there a drink and draw this week or was that last week?
Yes and no. It was sort of, I had it last week, then I realized I screwed up the times, so I'm having it on Thursday as well for everybody who's interested.
What do you mean you screwed up the time?
It was for this Thursday, but I was telling everybody last week that it was last Thursday. And so I had it last Thursday with Donna, Roberta, and that guy from India.
So regularly scheduled is this Thursday.
That's correct.
So why don't you do a quick promo of where people can locate it on Facebook and Eventbrite?
Okay, you can find it on the Facebook groups event. It's on Eventbrite under Graphic Artists Guild.
Graphic Artists Guild, really?
No, under cartoon. It's in my account under Eventbrite. Just a second. So anyway, here is I'm posting the link right now. And that is on Thursday at 6:30 Pacific time, PM, of course.
Well, I just realized that I've been coloring all of my deck of diamond cards the wrong color of red. So now I have to go back and redrop all those colors.
Oh no.
It's as long as I caught it, you don't want to print the deck.
Annoying, but fixable.
Well, folks, believe it or not, it's been an hour here at Wonderful Epic Sketch Time. So there are, as you heard, there's another drink and draw happening later this week that you can go to. And I'm hoping to have an in-person drawing session happening in Tacoma on the 4th Wednesday of this month. And I'll be able to confirm that the next time I meet with you guys. But can't tell you where because I haven't gotten solid confirmation from the venue, though it looks like it might actually happen. It'd be nice to have regular drawing sessions popping up again. Definitely. When it does pop up, the drawing sessions will be running between 6 and 8 o'clock. Anyway, I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. I'll be here, and I'm sure Bill and Katie will join me. And we look forward to seeing all of you at Epic Sketch Time.